Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to the Healing Space. I am Ravina. I am a pre licensed mental health therapist, and I come here and talk about mental health awareness and some of my experiences from being in the field and before I started as a therapist. So, while thinking about this topic, I realized it might be helpful to share things I wish I knew before I started this journey into the counseling field. There's so many misconceptions out there and mix of information. Before we dive into this list, let me tell you a little bit about why I decided to become a therapist. This part is a little bit personal, but I believe that modeling vulnerability is really important, especially when you, as a therapist, you hold spaces for other people to do the same. So just because we are a therapist, that doesn't mean we can figure out our own problems. We are human and we also need help sometimes. I decided to become a therapist when I recognized one of the skills I had. So when I was in one-on-one setting with people, I was able to block out everything that was happening, the noise, and focus on that person in the present moment completely. But my deeper why came from some personal experience. I lost a loved one who struggled with depression in the early 2000s, and that loss impacted our entire family. There was a lot of grief, rituals, confusion, silences, and trauma, and poverty was part of it after that. So it was really tough. Back then, there was no psychoeducation. People did not talk about mental health related concerns, especially for men. There were no spaces, no non judgmental spaces to be vulnerable. We have come so far in 2025. Later, as I worked in a helping profession as a case manager, I was helping people be safe, help them with resources to meet their basic needs, and help them be more self sufficient. So, even without formal counseling training, at the time, I saw how naturally I connected with people. Growing up in an orphanage in India, spending there about 5 to 6 years, I was surrounded by people who were doing social service with really low reward. Like, I was around social workers and kids who had the most inspiring life stories. That shaped me. It planted this seed in me to keep doing the meaningful work. All of that I just shared. Keeping that in mind, let's move on to the list I was going to share with you, which was I wish I knew this before starting my career. So, not to scare you, but to help you feel more informed and prepared, I'm making this video. I wish I knew self care. It is not optional. You can't pour from an empty cup. Burnout is really, really sneaky. And boundaries are going to be your best friend, whether it's at work or at home. You won't get paid as much as you think, at least not right away. So, right out of grad school, especially in the agency setting, the paycheck doesn't necessarily match the emotional labor that you do or even your educational level. Private practice sounds better. So you want to think about all the other things that come with that, like the learning curve. You're paying for rent and administration and finding your niche, building your caseload, thinking about billing people, paying them. So it's a whole another system to learn, and a lot of people enjoy that because you get to do your own schedule. Healing isn't a straight line. Progress, setbacks, they're all part of the process for clients and also for you. Your own stuff is gonna come up. Therapy really has a way of holding up a mirror in front of us while you're in session, and you get trained to deal with that. If you're not already in therapy yourself, start. It's okay. You are not here to fix people's problems. You are here to be present and hold space and be supportive. You cannot solve stuff for them. They have to do that for themselves. You're there to guide them. Doing paperwork, it takes a lot of time. You do notes, treatment plans, insurance forms. It becomes really repetitive, and it's an emotional process because when you write your notes, you are processing that session all over again in your head to write those. Every workplace has certain guidelines and deadlines to finish documentation, usually like within 24 to 48 hours. You won't click with every client. Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's personality, and that's okay because you're not going to be everyone's liked therapist. And sometimes people are not ready for the emotional work that needs to happen, right? 8, boundaries. Boundaries are not one time and done type of things. You need regular maintenance for your boundaries. The work can be really heavy. You carry trauma, pain, grief, all the feelings, all in one day sometimes. And you need to decompress and have your little rituals throughout the days to fuel you. You need people to lean on. Some clients will ghost you. It happens. Sometimes you have no closure, no goodbyes. Try not to take it personally. It can feel very isolating, especially when you are in private practice and in small towns. So seek out supervision and community of people who really understand what you do for work. People will ask for free therapy in a very indirect way. They can expect you to hear them out all the time. Be kind and be firm. Your energy is valuable. You can't be everybody's therapist off duty. Sure. Licensure process, it can be confusing. It's different in every state, every country. So start researching early and try to be organized. Imposter syndrome, it's real. Even with all the degrees and experiences, you will find yourself doubting your abilities. Keep learning, but don't wait to feel ready. Just show up and you'll be fine. Quality of the supervision is really important because it can ruin your experience if it's not good quality. Supervisors can shape the way you look at the whole field and your everyday, your philosophy of wanting to be in this field. Trust your gut. Interview your supervisors to understand their style. I have been really lucky to have amazing supervisors who cheered me on for my wins and who also challenged me when I needed a little bit of push. Visa restrictions can really limit your options, especially when you're applying for jobs. As an international student, you have so many hoops to go through, and it can become tiring during job search. So even if you are ready for private practice, maybe your student visa and your work authorization may not match what you want to do in the field. So just be aware of the legalities of it ahead of time. You are navigating systems and following those rules while helping others navigate their experience being in systems. So it feels like too much work to do. And all workplaces are not necessarily inclusive. So this one is really positive because when you start to design your office, it feels like your dream of wanting to become a therapist is not a dream anymore. You mindfully and intentionally pick furniture, books, art, supplies, plants, dim lights, posters, pillows, fidgets, and more. It's so much fun. You get to show your personality and think about clients' needs. And it's not all about theories and technique, those help, but it's the relationship that heals people. Meeting your clients where they are is it matters more. You will learn from your clients. You'll face a lot of gray areas. There are ethics, state laws, clients' autonomy, your values, clients' values. So it's rarely black and white. You're gonna be in gray a lot. Internships can be really exhausting. You might give everything, time, energy, heart to this work for little to no pay while you're balancing grad school, especially if you're full time and you have another job. It's not always rewarded the way it should be. Then you have exams to take. You take like exams like standardized exams for the specific field. It's not a joke. It's tough. You really need to prep for these exams. And post-grad supervision can also feel like a big shift for you, because suddenly you're expected to be more independent, and the level of discussions you had before while being in school might change. It's an adjustment, and it's also part of your growth to become more confident and find your voice as a clinician. So yeah, it has mixture of both things. Termination is a bittersweet process when clients leave, whether due to their goals being met, relocating, or needing a higher level of care, or even dropping out of school if you're at school setting. You will feel it. You're human. You have held space for their stories, fears, and their growth. You don't just let it go when they leave, right? Despite all of this I just shared, the challenges and the learning curves and the emotional load, it's still worth it being in this career, because when the work feels aligned with your purpose and meaning you're trying to find, it pushes you every day. I just wish that it actually paid you better, even if you're at a temporary licensing stage, because that's your emotional and financial fuel, right? If someone had told me all of this before I started, I might have still chosen this path, or maybe I wouldn't have. You know what? The reality is sometimes you have to live the experience to truly understand, reflect back, and then make choices. Okay, that was a lot. Stay tuned for the next video and I will see you there. Until then, bye.